Una. All right. Hi, Marlene. How are you? I had the opportunity to observe your class. Welcome back.
Okay,
My name is
thank you very
Manuel,
much.
and let's make this meetup for checking certain points of your class. What I can say for the first question that I have here is, what were the strengths that you observed in your peer? Since my answer is that the teacher had a good report from the student side, allowing them to develop their answers so that they could speak freely and fluently. That was a very good thing. And then the teacher gave the students correct feedback during the whole class, checking mistakes and errors when necessary. Okay. The teacher also means you, Marlene, related the session to the student's reality. And that was also good. Then, for the other question, what did you learn from the observation? It says what I learned from it says about the this session was that the teacher exhibit exhibited, let's say, patience and preparedness from her side. The teacher found the correct way to conduct the class in a non-threatening environment so that the students could develop the exercises well, and that will definitely lead them to tackle the topic correctly. So here we have another question. Based on the observation, what constructive suggestions could you make regarding the peer observation practice? So a suggestion that I can give from my point of view to spice up the teacher's class, your class, is that you could start your class with an example from the last class so that you can relate, right? Your last class to the one that you are about to teach. Okay. On the other side, another piece of advice I can give you is that you could reduce your teacher's time talking. Okay. Time to intervene so that you let the students to speak a little bit more, right? I know that as teachers, we've got the tendency to speak and speak and speak and speak, but we've got to in a way, try to reduce that so that you lead or yield them uh, more time to speak and express themselves. That's all that I can say so far. So, what about you, Marlene? What can you tell us about my class?
Hi, Manuel. Okay, it's a pleasure to meet you now. Yes, okay, thanks for your recommendations. They are very useful and helpful for my teaching. I'm going to put in practice that for the next time. Okay,
Okay.
about your teaching, okay, well, I like your class, really. I noticed that you are a very committed person, a teacher, you are dedicated to your students. And yeah, okay, in spite of about the hour, because the class is about 6 a.m., okay, I think that you were able just to be, okay, aware, and the students too, all the time, all right? And about the first question, about the strengths that I observed in your class, okay, you are very organized when delivering instructions. You all the time you try to encourage students to participate, and I could see that they really were active, no, talking about among them and also with you. And also, okay, exactly, I noticed that you use the tools, the features of the platform, no, while you are explaining something, maybe a grammatical point there. Okay, it was excellent. I say that because maybe what happened to me, for example, when comparing that, is that I'm explaining that, and then probably I try to use to underline something, no? But I noticed, and this is something that is related to the question too. This is something that I learned. As you are talking, explaining something, okay, immediately, okay, you underline and use the features of the platform, which is good. And okay, I like it the way, okay, that you closed the session, which is good because you had the students to read, okay, what was the goal that you achieved, right? And so I noticed that you were very organized. It was an opening and developing, and then a closure about that. Well, and this is something that I really learned from you, no? Eh, about the second point, exactly, I learned how to give instructions. Yes, you were very straightforward. Okay, you control your teacher talking time, which is good. As we say in Spanish, less is more. Okay. And then, okay, there was another point. Okay, the way you close the session, I like it because the students were conscious about, yeah, today that was a lesson and I was able to do that. Good point. Which means that you had a good time management. Very good. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes, for example, in my case, I when I about to finish, okay, maybe I need more time, extra time, no? And sometimes it happened to me that, or maybe other teachers that immediately you have to close that, but didn't it didn't happen that. I noticed that you had the exact time to close that. And observations. Well, really, my recommendation is just to keep on working the way that you are doing, okay? And maybe, okay, introduce from time to time some examples or maybe problems or situations that are related to their lifestyles about transportation, because there are many things to say about that. And it's something that I suggest, but probably at the beginning, very few teachers are willing to do that, is the order. I noticed that, for example, in that lesson, sometimes I got problems with the two stages. No, that's for me. For example, the part of prepare to speak and then speaking. Sometimes, for me, it's really hard to find the difference. Yeah, because sometimes the students tend to develop all the things in the prepare part, no? And then in the speaking time, probably they tend to repeat. However, you did it very good. Okay, you separated the activity, no? But my recommendation is that maybe, no, it's an option to change or to take it out. I don't know. It depends on you. But in your case, everything went smoothly. You didn't have any problem. I suppose because probably in the prepare stage, students just gave ideas, short ideas, and then maybe they complete at a second time. Okay, which was something okay, very good, no? But I can recommend that just in case, no, if you need, maybe for other lessons, no, because this is something that I have experienced, and sometimes I had to change or take it out. But it depends on you. Well, that was all really. Thank you very much for this fruitful
Thank you very much.
experience.
I will take your words as a token, let's say, and I will try to follow your pieces of advice on all your consults.
Me
Thank you,
too.
thank you very much, Marlene. That would be all then. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye bye. Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye bye.
Thank you.